Entertainment Properties Trust makes its bread and butter in the movie theater industry, and while America still loves the movies, downloads from the internet and other technologies make some wonder about the future of the movie-going experience. Joining us to discuss his company's present success and the future of the movie theater is the CEO of Entertainment Properties Trust, David Brain. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
So, your company basically deals with the entertainment industry by providing properties like those megaplex movie centers for lease to companies like AMC and Regal Cinemas. Tell us about the health of the business right now.
Well, the health of business is very good. There's a lot of latent concern for reasons, as you suggested, because home entertainment is growing that relates to the movies, that out-of-home destination entertainment, going to the theater, is going to be in jeopardy. But really, it's just the opposite. As people spend more of their in-home leisure time about the movies with serials, themes, talents, directors, they get more interested to go to first releases out in the theater. And actually, attendance has been growing. '05 was a little bit of a pothole for the industry, so a lot was written about the kind of demise of the industry in '05. But really, the long-term trends, 5, 10, 15-year trends, are all up about 3 to 4% compound per year in box office and about 1 to 2% of attendance. And that's about the way it's been for the last 20, 30 years. So it's very good. The industry is very strong. This year is up about 5, 6%. Last year was up about 5 or 6%, and that's over, again, '05 was off about 3 or 4%, was the first down year we'd had in about the last 8 years.
David, I look at some of the statistics because we talk about movies very actively here on Money for Breakfast, and we've been seeing that November movie ticket sales are already down about 30% over last year. What is the issue right now? Is the failing of big blockbuster movies, and is that what you need to be successful?
Well, a little bit. It's usually content. A lot of it drives back to content. Beowulf is not turning out to be 300. It's not getting it done. B-movie Jerry Seinfeld is not performing the way they hoped. American Gangster came out strong, but it's been out 3 or 4 weeks. And there's not a lot of strong content with a lot of tentpole serial nature, pushing the holiday numbers right now. So it's a little slack, and there hasn't been a lot until B-movie. There wasn't a lot of children's fare out. Now that's starting to happen with Enchanted this weekend, and then the Golden Compass is coming, and movies like that. So I think it'll start to pick up, but it's been a little slack for what we'd hoped right now in the holiday season, yes.
Your third quarter earnings came in indicating that you saw a nice revenue increase, compared to the same time last year, in large part, as you mentioned, because that was a more difficult comparison. But you're also talking about expectations for potentially a surge in the fourth quarter. Tell us about that.
Well, our earnings, EPR earnings, are driven really driven by our property development sequence. And this has been a very strong year. It's been a strong year in part because '06 was a very good year for the exhibition industry. In '05, a lot of projects got scrubbed or delayed because the box office was weak. You also have a lot of private equity now in the industry, both in the production side and the exhibition side, that react very strongly to any kind of short-term movement in trends. So they started to pull back projects. But '06 came in strong, so '07's been a very good year. We've been doing a lot of projects, a lot of development, and '08 looks to be the same right now. Even though, I got to warn you, '08 being an election year will be a little soft in box office just because the airwaves will be crowded with political ads, and sometimes Hollywood finds that tough to compete with in terms of attention and time.
The megaplex movie centers, which is truly your bread and butter, what are you doing to change the technology and help increase traffic at some of those bigger theaters that you have? What can you do to create a destination environment so you get more families to come to entertainment properties?
Yeah, the word is a lot is happening. And when most people think about technology, particularly related to entertainment, they think about home technology changes, and a lot's been going on. But that technology change, that ball is being handed off now to the theater. The theater really, home technology with HD has come up to about analog presentation, which is where the theaters have been for the last 70 years. That's moving now to digital. Digital penetration is about at 15% in the theaters, moving at about 15% a year. So it'll get to 30% or so in '08. When that happens, and there are about 35,000 screens. When you get about 10,000 screens, 15,000, particularly the leading screens in the industry, converted to digital, not just able to show a film, but now able to show all kinds of content brought over the wire off a satellite, you'll see the theater that entertainment complex become much more than just an outlet for Hollywood. It'll be an outlet for a lot of different content, anywhere from political rallies all the way to sporting events, special events, concert, like the Led Zeppelin reunion that's being done in London is going to be brought to some theaters. The Metropolitan Opera is being brought out in 50 locations based on last year's trial success that went from 15 to almost 50 locations by the end of the season last year. So you'll see a lot different new content, a lot of exciting things, even attractions for niche audiences that might be at off hours, to increase utilization of the property, which will be very good for us.
Let's talk just for a moment about your diversification, because you have ski resorts in your properties, you've got vineyards in your properties. Is the movie business your area of growth, or are you diversifying because you're somewhat concerned about the movie business?
Well, we're not concerned about the movie business, and both are areas of growth. We're still growing in the movie theaters, and in fact, we're doing more internationally and still domestically. We probably have 100 to 200 million a year we believe we can do. It's about as far as the eye can see in terms of still the rescreening of America, as we call it, to the new and better megaplex format. But beyond that, we have been at the company, been taking some time. We're now 10 years old. We've been a part of a revolution. We decided, well, there are other revolutions we ought to be a part of, and we've been looking at other industries, and we found some in the skiing area, in the vineyard area. We think there's something going on there, and as well as in public education. So we're organizing specific pieces of our company, subsidiaries, to focus on those emerging trends and be the developer of choice for the new emerging format that's going to be most preferred by the consumer and the industry going forward, just like the megaplex theater is in the exhibition industry.
All right. Well, David Brayton, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed being here.